Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request for Dwayne. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, a tier list, a ranking, a review, or re-review, thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate that, your kindness as well as your patience. Thank you. But this is for Raw Deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Came out in 1986. Directed by John Irvin, who did Hamburger Hill, which I thought was a great Vietnam War movie. Next of Kin, pretty decent Patrick Swayze film with Liam Neeson, among others. And this was the film Arnold Schwarzenegger did to get out of his contract with Dino De Laurentiis. Just from what I understand, Dino at the time had Total Recall. Arnold wanted to do that, but Dino's like, no, this needs some different type of actor. I think he wanted like Patrick Swayze or someone to be in it. Arnold was like, I'm done with this. I'm tired of working with you, Dino. I'll do this film, but I'm done. Fine, do this film. You're out of your contract. Which helped out for Arnold because later on, he had Predator, and then of course eventually got someone to get the rights of Total Recall, and eventually did get to star in it, which was a big hit. Classic. The original Total Recall is great. Now this film, I've never been the biggest fan of this movie. Now I will say, watch it again. I do not hate the film. I'm not going to say the film sucks. There is some good things about it, in particular the ending. The Casino Massacre, as I call it. But I don't know, this one just kind of falls through the cracks for me. And would I put this in the worst of Arnold films? No. It's better than Sabotage. It's better than Terminator Dark Fate, Terminator Genesis, Hercules in New York, Killing Gunther, Junior, among other stuff. But I always felt this film was lacking in aspects where I thought the story was really boring. There's this bit with this girl named Monique, which I thought was yawn-inducing. And I don't know, it's one of those things where this is between Commando and Predator. Afterward, you had Red Heat, and you had Total Recall, and The Running Man, and before you had Conan the Barbarian, The Terminator, and this just seems fairly, at times, lackluster in comparison with those. And maybe that's not fair because of the comparison, but again, it's like this is between Commando and Predator, two of Arnold's best films, and then this is kind of... This feels like something that would have been made before he became a success, not after. But I mean, the plot of the film, there's this hit squad that kills this informant. The FBI get killed. The FBI apparently don't know how to shoot for shit, because they're just like, bah, 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 bah. They can't shoot for nothing. So they deserve to die for their bad aim. The informant gets killed, as well as the FBI agents. One of them was the son of Darren McGavin. Darren McGavin, who I love in Kolchak the Night Stalker, the TV show. He was the father in A Christmas Story. Great to see him in this. He's definitely a positive. I like him as an actor. It's always, again, great to see him in films. May he rest in peace. He wants revenge for the death of his son. So he needs to get someone that's off the grid, someone who is not with the FBI anymore, because apparently there's someone who keeps telling their secrets. There's a mole in the FBI. So he's going to get someone who used to be with the FBI, but is now a sheriff, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, the first time we see him, they start playing this country music, and that just didn't work. It was shitty country music. I'm sorry, this country music, this country song just does not work for Arnold. You know, in this truck chasing this guy who's pretending to be a cop on a motorcycle. It's not a bad action bit. The ending of it is fun, where he gets ahead of the guy and he put like gasoline and he throws a cigar and there's a little explosion to get the guy off the bike. And he arrests him for impersonating an officer and stuff. Like, that was kind of fun. But I don't know why they decided to use this country song. It just didn't fit. Also, the score, I don't think the score is that great. The main theme is okay, but I didn't compare to Terminator, Total Recall, Predator, The Running Man. Just compared to all these other scores, Conan the Barbarian, this score just seemed fairly mediocre. At times it's okay, but at times like, eh. And there's no memorable songs in the movie. So I think that the soundtrack, the score, the music is kind of a letdown. So after his job, he goes home. His wife, which this is like the only scene she's in. She's a drunk, pretty much a bitch. Because she wants to live in New York, and why do we have to be here, and why didn't you do this, and why didn't you do that? And then she throws something. You have one of the lines people remember. This is why you should not drink and bake. Just she's drunk and throws a cake at him. I find it funny that Arnold is dressed like the brawny guy, you know, the paper towel. Brawny. He's dressed just like Brawny. Or he's trying out for a Paul Bunyan movie. So, Mr. Brawny Man. So it just made me laugh. But I don't think it was supposed to. Like, I don't think the way he's dressed, I was supposed to laugh at it, but I did. Anyway, he gets contacted by Darren McGavin, says, go undercover, get the mob, the guys who killed my son. If you're successful, I may be able to get you back to the FBI. He fakes his death, and like the most extravagant way, where he puts his police car at this chemical plant and blows the whole fucking thing up. I think there'd be easier ways maybe to fake your death, but I guess Arnold's like, I need to blow a whole fucking place up. Well, couldn't you? I mean, there's no body. Wouldn't they check the car and see that there's no body in there? Because you didn't see him like put a fake body in there, but no, apparently. Bullshit, delivery, I'm going to blow the whole thing up. So he goes undercover. There's this bit where this casino, and he realizes the dice are rigged, and he screws everything up, and he fights a couple guys, and then he drives a truck in there. The reason he did all that is to piss off this rival of the mob that he's got to go undercover for, to make it seem like, I want to work for you, because I don't like that guy over there. Robert Davi, who I do like as an actor, he has matched the top lieutenant of the mob guy. There's this war between these two mob rivals, and Arnold tries to get in good graces with one by screwing over the other. There's this bit where Robert Davi doesn't trust Arnold, so he sends 3 guys to beat him up, but he beats him up pretty quickly in an alleyway. Ed Lauder, who may he rest in peace, he's played a cop in a bunch of films. He was in Death Wish 3. He was the cop who was the ally of Charles Bronson at the end of Death Wish 3. He's done a lot of other stuff. He's here. And he checks Arnold's credentials. Your middle name is P. What does it stand for? P? What P? It's for pussy. I will admit that was a funny line from Arnold. So this is, watch it again. I didn't hate the film. Like, that's a funny line. What's the P's for pussy? There's a couple decent action bits here and there. But again, it's just the story I did not care about. Arnold, he's there, like, he's fine, but maybe it's just me, but it felt like he didn't want to be there. Granted, he didn't, because he only did this to get out of his contract. But sometimes it felt like his heart wasn't in this compared to Commando and The Running Man, and I don't know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. But again, the stuff between him and Monique, I didn't really care about because she works for the bad guys and Arnold's trying to get her out of there. And she thinks Arnold has the hots for her, but of course he doesn't because he's married. I didn't give a shit about any of that. I think all that could have been cut out. There's this little bit where he fights some thugs in a store, at a mall. I'm like, if I want to see Arnold in a mall fighting, I'll watch Commando. And that's the thing, it just feels... I don't know what it is, just... Never loved it like other people did. The bad guys find out what's going on. There's a setup at the cemetery. Arnold kills Robert Davi, but Darren McGavin gets shot and heavily wounded. To a point he's crippled. Arnold gears up. And like this bit I didn't mind. Again, at least the finale is fun. And it's worth one watch at the very least. And he drives his car... I think playing the Rolling Stones. And he's shooting the bad guys in this gravel pit. And then he's got to deal with these guys in these construction vehicles. And there's even a bit where there's two construction vehicles. He's got to get out of the car before his car gets crushed. So he takes care of the people in the gravel pit. Then he goes after the guys in this casino. Where he's just laying waste to people. Shooting them with machine guns. You got blood squibs. Sven Thorsen, his buddy, who was in almost anything Arnold's been in. He was in Conan the Barbarian. He was in The Running Man. He was the guard, the security guard. I'm going to go store some steroids. At the end, The Running Man. He also played LaFours, the mall security guard in Mallrats. He's been in a lot of stuff, Sven Thorsen. He's one of the bad guys there. And it's not a bad action scene. Definitely a lot of firepower, blood squibs. I do appreciate that. Pretty much, he kills all the bad guys. All that's left is the guy that screwed him over in the FBI in the first place, and he's the mole. I forget the actor's name, but I recognize him. He played, I think, Frank on Murphy Brown. I know he's on Murphy Brown, which I haven't seen that show in forever, but he was on Murphy Brown. And Arnold gives him the choice of be prosecuted or leave, resign or be prosecuted. The guy tries to kill him, Arnold kills him instead. Then has a final scene with Darren McGavin. So it just... The ending is fun. Action-packed. I appreciate that. The action bits before it is just kind of there. It's a little bit of fight here, a little bit of fight there, a little bit of chase here. Nothing monumental or anything. Nothing that like I would go back to rewatch. I mean, the only thing I would go back to rewatch is the finale. But the villains are fine. One of them is the guy who played Sosa in Brad De Palma's Scarface. So again, the villains aren't bad, but they're nothing. I know it's not fair, but you look at other Arnold films at this time. You look at Commando and the villains in that. I'm not going to shoot you between the eyes, I'm going to shoot you between the balls. You look at Utillion, one of us is big trouble. And The Running Man. You look at Predator. You look at Michael Ironside, Ronnie Cox, and Total Recall. You look at, James Earl Jones and Conan the Barbarian. You just look at that series of films in the 80s, going to the 90s, and this just kind of just dips and stuff. In music, in villains. I could maybe say it's a serviceable film. It's a film I wasn't mad rewatching again. In fact, it's been so long since I had seen it. I can't remember the last time I saw this all the way through. I don't even know if the guys at the beginning who killed Darren McGavin's son were some of the people that he killed at the end of the film. Does I think at the beginning one of them is George P. Wilbur, who played Michael Myers in Halloween 4? I don't remember him being at the end of the film where he's killing the. I could be wrong, but it's just like the people at the beginning I don't recognize as being anybody at the end he kills. So if that's the case, that means Darren's the people who kill his son are still out there. Darren McGavin, I kind of wish he had more to do. He just has a couple of times talked with Arnold, then he gets wounded. Then the final scene of the film. It's cool to see Darren McGavin in there. Humor. You know, the whole thing, you should not drink and bake. I know a lot of people laugh at that line. I'm just kind of like, It didn't do anything. I was indifferent. The P for pussy, okay, that was a funny line. But I don't think this has as many memorable one-liners as some of Arnold's other films in this time period. Like I said, the music I don't think is as memorable. The villains, again, they're fine. Like I said, a lot of the stuff is just fine. Or again, the stuff between. I mean, I kind of wish Robert Davi was the main villain instead of just the lieutenant. And then the way he dies is a bit weird. It's as if they wanted to hide stuff for the ratings board. Because Arnold shoots him in the cemetery, but it's like this slow-mo. And it feels as if the camera's a bit too close to him. And you see some of the script, but it was filmed awkwardly. As if like this type of slow-mo thing. And I don't know how to put it. It felt like that was screwed around with in post-production. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe just awkwardly filmed. I don't know. But Robert Davi, I kind of wish was the main villain. I would have preferred that. And, I wish he had more to do. And like they bring up the wife character, but then she disappears for the entire film, and then you just hear that, my wife and I got back together, and she's pregnant, and Darren McGavin, you need to do this. You got to be our godson, our godfather to my son. What are you doing? Come on. You need to walk now. I'm going to jam my hand up your ass. and control you like a puppet. Kolchak, come on, do it now, Kolchak. You need to walk, you dumb some bitch. Stop being such a pussy. My middle name's P for pussy. Stop being it. But again, watching it, I don't hate the film. If I'm being honest, I'll say it's okay. It's alright. I say it's easily more watchable than I did Junior, Sabotage, Killing Gunther, Terminator Genesis, Terminator Fate. I'd rather watch this in Terminator 3. I'd rather watch this in Hercules in New York. You just look at the films he did before and after this in that 10-year span. Like after this, Predator and the Running Man, Red Heat, Total Recall, Terminator 2, True Lies, Kindergarten Cop, Twins, Eraser, End of Days, Collateral Damage. All I would rather watch than this. So this would be a little bit lower on the totem pole of Arnold, a little bit low on the tier list of Arnold. It wouldn't be in the top 10 worst Arnold films. Again, well, I just repeated those films, so I'd rather watch this in Escape Plan, rather watch this in Expendables 3 or Expendables 2. So the ending helps. If the ending wasn't as action-packed as it was in terms of just gunplay, and I'm not saying it's John Woo quality, no, far from it. You know, in a way, this feels like Arnold doing a direct-to-video film in the 90s. And even some of them I would put like Deadly Outbreak with Jeff Speakman or Zero Tolerance Robert Patrick above this. But it feels like if Arnold did his direct-to-video film, but yeah, in the 90s, which is a lot more merit to that than if they do a direct-to-video film today. So that's just how I feel about it. Take that for you will. But thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.